Hi everyone, welcome to Maximum Attack Rallying. As promised, bringing you a quick update from Monte Carlo following Saturday's action. I think while it hasn't been the rally that people expected, perhaps in Monte Carlo, with not very much snow and ice, there's still been plenty of drama. I think the interesting thing has been that what little ice there has been has had quite a big impact, while also gravel and mud being dragged onto the road is also having quite a big influence on people's approach, and I think it's meaning that gravel crews and pace notes are impacting people's pace a lot. Big news today is that Thierry Neuville now leads the rally by 3.3 seconds. So after Elfyn Evans put in a really great performance on Thursday evening, winning the two opening stages, he's lost the lead. I think that's partly perhaps a result of him not taking advantage of his road position yesterday, and building enough of a lead to be able to relax a little bit. So Neuville took the lead on the second stage this morning, and then Evans was hit by hybrid problems which have slowed him even more, and he's now dropped down to third place behind Sebastian Ogier. I think Ogier has been one of the hits of the day. He started to show good pace yesterday, and he's been in a battle with Neuville all day. He was actually closing in on the lead as the day went on, and he ended up out front by just 0.8 seconds on the penultimate stage of today. But Neuville then went on to set a stunning time on the last test. I think he was 4 seconds quicker than Ogier. So he's now 3.3 clear. So provided he finishes tomorrow, he will take maximum points for the first part of the rally under the new system. Ogier also went pretty well today, but he's way down off the top times, in fourth place after he went off on Friday morning. Adrian Formo is in fifth place in the Puma, which I think is pretty good from his perspective. I think that's about as high as he or M Sport could have expected, given that is not the best car and he's not properly been in the car for over a year. Katsuta's back up to sixth spot after he lost 5 minutes in the same ditch as Tanak went into on Friday. I think both he and Tanak will be looking to take advantage of the new point system and maybe go a bit harder tomorrow and try and pick up some extra points, because there's a maximum of 7 points available for the fastest car across Sunday stages. So I think they'll both be looking to take advantage of that. And I think you could perhaps say that Elfyn Evans will be as well after his problems today. Just rounding out the Rally 1 side of things, Mikkelsen has improved, I think, a bit today. He had a very slow start. Obviously, he's been out of the top car for a long time now, but he looks today like he's finally starting to settle into that Hyundai, which is encouraging, because in the early part of the rally he was off the pace, and I know following shakedown he was saying that he just couldn't get on top of the car and wasn't used to the extra pace and was having to kind of reset his pace notes and everything. Other big story, or big-ish story today for Rally 1 was that Gregoire Munster crashed out. It was a bit of a soft one, really. Just ran wide, hit an Onco barrier and kind of beached the car off the edge of the road, and that was that. That was on stage 12. Looked a very soft incident and probably didn't do much damage to the car, but I think he was stuck and couldn't get out. So that was the end of him for the day. Speaking of retirements, I think that takes us nicely into WRC2. So Oliver Solberg was going well, but he had to retire earlier today. He had 2 punctures in the same stage, only had 1 spare, and that was the end of that for him. He couldn't continue, but he wasn't really in the fight for the win anyway. That itself has been really close between Nikolai Gryzin and Pepe Lopez. I think Lopez was probably the biggest surprise in WRC2 terms. I think he was 9 seconds quicker than anyone on the first stage on Thursday in the Skoda, which no one would have expected. Gryzin, I think, was a fair shout for being on the pace. So he actually leads the WRC2 category. He retook the lead after trading times with Lopez all day, but he leads by just 0.2 seconds. So that is going to be a really, really tight battle in the last 3 stages. Johan Rossell is in 3rd spot in the 2nd Citroen. He's a little bit further back, around 10 seconds, but I think he still has a chance depending on what happens with the other two. Obviously, with those guys pushing each other so hard, anything could happen. I think probably the biggest surprise in WRC2 is that the Toyota has not been as quick as some people would have expected, certainly not as quick as I expected. So the top Toyota right now is Sami Pajari, who's in 5th, and he's actually behind the Hyundai of Nicolas Siemin, which I think is a little bit of a surprise, because I think it's safe to say that the Hyundai is probably the worst car in that category now. And while Pajari isn't a top tarmac driver and is obviously learning the car, I think I maybe would have expected it to be a little bit closer than that. I think the pace of Stefan Lefebvre is probably a bigger key. So I expected him to be the fastest Toyota, but he has been off the pace all weekend, and he's been complaining that he can't quite get into the rhythm and he can't quite find the right setup. He seemed to go in a positive direction at one point, and then it seems to go away from him again. So there is definitely some issues with that car in terms of setup. It seems to come and go for both him and Pajari. So I think we have to give them time to learn that car for sure, and it is a brand new platform. But given the pace that Skoda have always found in new cars and Citroen have found in their cars, obviously very experienced teams, but I think we may have expected a little bit better from Toyota. But early days there. I think the 2 things to look out for tomorrow are certainly the lead battles in both categories, particularly in WRC2 with Lopez and Grice in super close. Obviously in Rally 1, it is 4 seconds is nothing, is it? Nothing at all. So it could go either way there, and I think especially with that extra dimension of Tanak going for top times, because he will no doubt want to score maximum points for tomorrow. So they're probably the things to watch out for. As promised, I will do a catch-up video tomorrow on Monday, just so we can review everything that's happened and get around the final result. But I will leave this one there. Thanks for watching as always. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me over on Instagram, where I've been posting regular updates too. And I will catch you in tomorrow's video.